Hello everybody, welcome back to AI War Fleet Command. Fatimix here, the vanilla standard game rolls on. And this episode should be up actually on Christmas Day, so Merry Christmas to everybody. What we are looking at here is it's time to formulate our plan for the rest of the middle game to early end game period. How are we going to make our way through the galaxy? As I've alluded to before, we're definitely going to want to, now that we've taken Hoth, we're going to want to neuter Elektra. I don't want to take it, I just want to turn it into not as much of a threat. It's got a lot of guard posts, want to get rid of those, and I want to do that before it gets too strong, because now it's on alert. Now I did think about taking it in order to give us range to hit Adiona here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 from it, so it's 5 hops from Hoth, and we'd have some problems getting it from there. Now they're actually pretty close together, like in terms of distance, but the way the wormholes are, there isn't a good connection to get me there. But I decided instead that we're actually going to come over here and take Mars a little bit later on, and that'll be 4 away. And the difference there is this actually gives us something useful. We can get the Bomber Mark V there. And that Mark IV ion cannon will be a pain in the butt, as will the nuclear eye, but once we do it, and it's only a Mark II system, that'll obviously really help defend it. Now, one of the big things I noticed is the number of data centers. We've got one in Hyperion, one in Hebe, and I'm going to take Vanth up here as a special planet. The only reason I want this is it's very defensible, only 2 Mark II planets nearby, and then we can hit Pales, Bespin, Sedna, and Malkov 11 all from here. So we'll actually get a big AI progress reduction from hitting that. And then of course we're going to want to take this trio here, and then Melpomene. And then we're going to hit the homeworlds, Slan first and Herculina second. So that's the goal in a nutshell. Now I did find a couple of new structures that we haven't seen before, so I just wanted to run by those real quick. First of all, here in Chiron, which we are going to happily ignore, one right here, there it is. And this is the Superfortress. Now that's basically a Mark V fortress. It says at the bottom, only bombers and tanks have any chance against this. 1.5 million health, 5,000 armor, and a whole bunch of attacks. 250 attacks each do 1,600 damage. Yikes. But we don't have to mess with that, so thankfully that will not be an issue. Now if we look here, in Herculina is the best place to see the next couple of things. First of all, both homeworlds, and lesser versions of them in other places, I've noticed several of these, the Translocator eye. And this thing does engine damage, a lot of it, and it translocates, hence the name for it, means pushes your ships across the system in whatever direction, you know, it was the opposite direction it was firing at you from. It literally knocks you back away from it. And then also paralyzes any ship it hits for 5 seconds. So that's fun. And then another thing is we have the core electric guard post, and that's basically like a lightning turret, only a really souped up version of it. It only has 8,000 range, which is the key factor, I think, is that electric attacks tend to be short ranged. Hopefully we can stay away from it, but it's also got a nice big force field on top of it. That's going to be kind of fun, and there's 2 of those in this system. So those are really the new things. I think really the trend for this game has simply been that there's a lot more eyes. Unleashing the nuclear eye, having eyes on planets that are homeworlds, that kind of thing is what I've really seen and noticed as the big structural difference in when we're hitting the enemy planets. And of course, more ion cannons also, especially those of higher levels. There's also a little bit of maintenance that I want to do. I'm going to be doing this off screen, but I'll want to get rid of a bunch of our picket scouts that are no longer needed. Like a bunch of them up in this area won't be needed, maybe down here won't be needed. If you're not at or next to a planet that we plan on taking, I want to get rid of them, free up more scouts to look at all of those. And of course, I'll probably also want to move our Mark IV scout to Slan, because that's the one we're planning on taking first. That's the one with the Avenger. And then also, there was a discussion about improving defenses around the plasma siege starships that we've had some problems with. And I think one of the main issues is, again, I didn't have enough turrets. I want to keep gradually upping the turrets, and I may take just an operational pause to do that at some point. But also, there was a lot of focus given to the gravity turrets. And if we look, for example, in Ixion. Okay, so first of all, I only need the one direction, so I should like straighten these turrets out so they're a little bit better. But also, we only have the Mark 1 gravity turrets. And those limit ship speed to 32. Which isn't bad. The Plasma Siege Starship has a speed of 48. It drops it by a third. But the Mark 2 turret drops the speed to 20, and the Mark 3 drops it to 8. So I think when I'm upgrading, I want to upgrade the gravity turrets first, and then upgrade the other ones behind it, because these are going to slow everything down. And just focusing on the Plasma Siege Starship, because that's been the one causing us the trouble. We haven't had any problems with the Leech or flagship starships, and their fleet ships have pretty much been getting stuck around the tractor beams and not really going much of anywhere after that. In any case, I want to gradually upgrade everything, but I want to upgrade all of the gravity turrets right away. So I can just do that real quick here. Just get rid of the Mark 1s. I didn't have to get rid of them. I could have just built the new ones. But that way I'll free up some for other planets. And then I can just put these down. Get a couple of those in place. And once those build, of course, we'll be much better off. And so I think by focusing on the gravity turrets, I can get those all up everywhere right away. And then have some more time later on to deal with the other systems. I do also want to find a bite the bullet, because we're going to use it soon and unlock that third level economic command station. And there it is for 5,000. And now any other research I have can go towards turrets. I'm just going to grab that Mark II sniper. And very soon we'll be able to get the Mark II flak and lightning. So after a couple minutes or so, I've got all of the Mark II gravity turrets are in place. I'm replacing the Needlers with Mark II ones, and I'm going to gradually move through all of the turrets, of course, and do that. Except for in Deimos, where I want to keep the Mark I and the Mark II turrets in place. I just want that to be super fortified, and I'm probably going to use Mark I turrets there all the way through the game, just to get a little bit of extra punch. Now this is Elektra, which is the system next to Hoth. And of course this is the Mark IV system that we want to neuter, or in other words make a lot less threatening. And we've just jumped in here, and our snipers have already fired off, and they're essentially ticking everyone off here, because we've got these ships that are going to head at us. What I want to do here is take out this ion cannon, this Mark II ion cannons. Only took everything Mark III and up naturally into this system. And that's still way more than I need. This is going to be a pretty simple operation. It's the first part of this whole deal of taking an effort into Elektra, but it's a very important one because the ion cannon can target turrets. So, and I can't build anything higher than Mark II. So it would just start taking out the turrets. And not only that, but if the ion cannon takes out a turret, if a turret gets insta-killed, it doesn't leave a remain for the rebuilders to reconstruct. So that would not work as an automated system with that ion cannon there. These ships, though, want to come after our snipers, so let's not let that happen. There we go. And then they've got a Spider Guardian up here, which I'm not a huge fan of. Let's make that go away, shall we? Of course, the raid starship's in front. That's going down. Let's take down the ion cannon. Because, of course, there's no use in capturing it because we're not going to take the system. We don't want that AIP loss. So, okay, there we go. Now, yeah, let's definitely get out of range of that lovely missile guard post. Mark IV missile guard posts, not nice things. So I want to move out here. I want to get rid of these. And I actually want to get rid of this wormhole guard post in this case. And you'll see why. Eventually. Okay, let's get some more fun going and bring in our builder and engineers. And here those are. And you see the wormhole guard post almost dead by now. Now, I actually don't want to do what I would normally do here. Just going to move these off a little bit, wait for this to go away. And we've got the engineers, so I want them to be FRD. And there that goes. Okay, so all of you, let's get our fleet here. Let's move you just a little bit away. And I want to get started building here, and the first thing I'm going to do is put a hardened force field right on top of the wormhole. Now that's going to stop any enemies from getting through. Because they'd have to destroy the force field before they go through the wormhole. And then I'm just going to build turrets in front of it. Snipers and spiders, and we don't have the Mark II of the spiders yet. I may not get those at all. We'll see. And then I want some counter sniper turrets too in case they decide to have fun with any sniper guardians. Those just basically send up flares that dissipate sniper bullets. So I want those to build. As soon as we get some of them up, I'm going to pick a fight here. And I did not want to send the snipers through, so why don't you come back? Just the snipers. Because I want them to take out this barracks. You can see that various stuff getting blown up, but there you go. Now go back through. Various stuff getting blown up by our turrets over here. But now they're all going to come after us. So let's get those remains rebuilders going while we wait for them to come in and fire. Throw a couple of them up. Why don't you go ahead and FRD? And yeah, why don't you go away? And obviously, all their ships from the barracks are pretty cheesed off. They're Mark IV ships, we only have Mark II turrets, but we've got enough of them. They're immobilized. And we're ripping some nice holes in their formation. You can see as soon as new ships arrive for reinforcements, they're going to make over this way. But that's not really going to matter. And so the idea is that this is an automated defense, or not defense really, but attack, if you will, on this system. But we're not actually taking out the command station, so we don't particularly care. We're not going to gain any AI progress from it, and we're simply going to be able to send our ships elsewhere to do other things. You go back through as well. And we've got the energy to spare, so, you know, why not? So that is the neutering of Elektra in progress. I'll have to jump in to see how things are doing. Looks like it's trying to take out, at the moment, this force field. And gradually working our way through that are the snipers. And everything else is pretty much defensive. The snipers are the only thing that can hit all of this fun stuff. We can see Dymos flashing red here because they're sending a wave there. It's not a particularly big one. I'm not worried about it. The next thing I want to do is set up to go data center hunting. And I want to get the ones up here, so I want to head off to Vanth. And I've loaded up our ships in Hoth, boosted our defenses there, and we're going to start doing that. Everything, of course, is in assault transports, and we've got colony ship with it. So we're ready to make that attack happen. And we just barely made it through to Vanth. Our transport's almost dead, but they did get through. So let's unload everything here. And I want to do the snipers separately. Put them in their own separate group. Just have them work on, say, the missile guard post. Just send the group off this way. And actually, I think I'd like to have them go after that spire shield. But it's time to clean out some of the mess. We've got laser guard post, we've got the missile guard post, we've got a cloaker guard post, special forces guard post just went down, there's a raider guardian up there by this needler guard post. So we'll definitely be needing to clean out Vanth for a bit here, just split up the fleet a couple times, knock these out based on whatever the best approach is. I probably want to just get rid of the missile guard post with any ships that's not particularly good against, and that'll give me freedom from the range, although there's two of them. So yeah, this is going to take a little bit of doing, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem to be successful. And then after that, going to go data center hunting. All of that going to come up next time. So we're going to take a little bit of a break here. Until then, thanks for watching. More AI War Fleet Command coming up soon.